Good morning, everybody. We are about to do our morning yoga. So what we are focused on today is reading a quick... Okay, so we have a motivational speech we're going to listen to, and this one's by Les Brown. It's a compilation, and it's from the YouTube channel Let's Become Successful. So if you all want to tune in or hear that after I finish yoga, feel free to pull that up on your YouTube later. I will update this to YouTube.
Was working one of his patrol areas, and he came up to a car in a park, and the car was running, and he saw figures slumped over the stern wheel. He got there looking in with a flashlight, and he saw a 14-year-old boy with a bullet through the back of his head. And he said, oh no, he has a son himself. That could have been his son. And he said, something ought to be done. We're losing too many young people. And so this man went home. He had like several $1,000s worth of exercise equipment in his basement. He rented a place. He started bringing the kids in to get them involved in taking care of their bodies and physical exercise and athletic activity. He now has expanded that to getting them involved in entrepreneurial ventures, saying that this is a free enterprise system, and the more enterprising you are, the freer you are. And now these kids have started their own business. They have a little shopping center that they run, they operate, they are managing. And they have commercials on radio, and I'm going to be going there doing some training with them. So he decided, because of that event, that I ought to do something. Now, some of the things that's going to happen when you look out and see what can I contribute to, what can I give, I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have a voice that's saying, it's just no use. It's out of control now. There will be a voice telling you that you'll be wasting your time and wasting your energy and wasting your effort. I say, don't listen to it. Listen to that still small voice that says, I can do something, and I ought to do it. We ought to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, giving creates energy in ourselves and in others. Have you ever helped a blind person go across the street? Or help a senior citizen? Or give somebody some help? Just held the door for somebody or an elevator? How many of you get a good feeling inside when you do something good for somebody? See, we're really giving to ourselves. See, that's really the law. When you are giving to yourself. That's who you're giving to. So you want to give yourself some good gifts. There's a principle underlying the concept of giving. The energy flowing through us as we do, that love generates abundance in our lives, and we are able to reap so much from life as a result of our giving. How are you giving up your life? Do you know, to the degree that you are giving, to that degree determines how much you enjoy life, how meaningful your life is. There's things, ladies and gentlemen, I used to do, I can't do now. That is unbecoming for the role that I had selected with where I am in my life and what I want to contribute to life. It is inconsistent. I can't do it. Even if I desire to do it, I can't do it. No, because it doesn't fit, because of my vision of myself and the contribution that I want to make to life. Because it's not enough to give the message, you must also be the message. That we must give out of a sense of oughtness. Emmanuel Kant, in a book called Critique of Pure Reasoning, he says sometimes we must give out of a sense of oughtness, that certain things that happen, that we just say something ought to be done about this. Now, the reason that most people don't give is because they operate out of a consciousness of scarcity. They don't believe that there's enough to go around. They can't see themselves having the capacity to give. They don't believe that they have anything to offer. They don't see themselves as an opening for the universe to work through. So if you begin to look at this new era that we're in, begin to see yourself as an opening for the universe to move through, to work through, to make a difference in life. See yourself being used by life to improve the quality of life, to expand and to grow. Most people have a very limited view of themselves and a very limited view of the universe, do not see their relationship to the universe, and cannot see how energy and things can flow through them. I love Gibran and the prophet. Then said a rich man, speak to us of giving, and he answered, you give but little when you give of your possessions, but it's when you give of yourself that you truly give. Gibran goes on to say that those who give little of the much which they have, and they give it for recognition, and their hidden desire makes their gifts unwholesome. And we know people who give only to be recognized. I love that old saying, judge a man not by what he does, but by that he doesn't have to do. And to judge the true quality of a man is what do you do when nobody's looking. Gibran goes on to say something else important. He says, and there are those who have little and give it all. These are the believers in life and the bounty of life. See, most people don't give, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't believe in life. Most people don't give because they don't understand the abundance in life. And so they go through life holding back on life, not understanding this also, that what you hold back from life, life holds back from you. So most of us go through life, ladies and gentlemen, not giving, and we're cheating ourselves. And you're also cheating life. See, I believe that all of us have some work to do. I strongly believe that each one of us showed up to do something, that each one of us showed up to contribute something to life. And that if we don't do it, it will not be done. See, no one is going to give Les Brown's speech. No one is going to write your book. See, if you've been given something to do, and if you don't do it, what you're doing is short-circuiting the flow of the universe. See, when you give, you create a vacuum. You are now in a position to receive. See, if I have my arms closed, holding on to everything I've got, nothing is available to come in. But if I'm open, if I've created a vacuum there, by giving and keeping the flow going, the stuff in the universe is going to come back to me, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to come back. Whatever you give, whenever I go into a room and give a speech to inspire people, to help them to develop their greatness, if you get 10% of what I get, because as Bach says, we teach that which we need most. I'm not wearing any crown. I need it as much as I'm sharing it. I'm still growing. I'm still unfolding. I'm still seeking to discover my greatness. And if you get 10% of what I get when I walk out of here, see, there will be a different man walking out of here than who came in here. And as I give, and the more I give to you, the more I get. Most people don't understand that. That's a law of life. Do you know that we can literally eliminate poverty overnight? We can eliminate hunger and homelessness overnight if people understood the concept of what giving means and the power in it, about the difference that it can make in our lives. Again, if you go to any rundown neighborhood and interview the people there, evaluate their lifestyles and what they're doing and what they're contributing to life, and then go in a wealthy neighborhood and talk to those people and evaluate them and check out what they're doing with their energy and their time and what they're contributing to life. Here's what you're going to discover what Earl Nightingale said. He said, our success in life is directly related to the quantity and the quality of the service that we give. Life changes every day. Sometimes things will be going your way. Sometimes things work well for you. Sometimes it won't work so well. Sometimes you'll have your health, you're feeling good and energetic, have a yes I can attitude, and there's some things that can happen to you in life that can take all of that from you. All of that can go. Sometimes you might be financially secure, and a sickness, one sickness can wipe out an illness. Life always change. But you can choose in the midst of all of this that's going on to be happy, in spite of it. In the good times and in the bad times, you can make a choice. Viktor Frankl, he talks about that. He said the last of the human freedoms to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Douglas Matlock has a poem I love entitled It's Fine Today. He said, sure, this world is full of trouble. I ain't saying it ain't. Lord, I've had enough and double reason for complaint. Rain and storm have come to fret me. Skies are often gray. Thorns and brambles have beset me on the road. But say, ain't it fine today? What's the use of always weeping, making trouble last? What's the use of always keeping thinking of the past? Each must have his tribulation, water with his wine. Life, it ain't no celebration. Trouble, I've had mine, but today is fine. It's today that I'm living, not a month ago, having, losing, taking, giving, as time wills it so. Yesterday, a cloud of sorrow fell across the way. It may rain again tomorrow. It may rain, but say, ain't it fine today? If a cloud of sorrow comes over here, ain't it fine today? Living in the moment, getting everything we can out of where we are in the moment where we are right now, living in the present. The other thing is willingness to let people and things go. You want to live a life of fulfillment. You've got to be willing to let certain people go in your life, especially if they want to go. When they're no longer good for you, just let them go. Just to hold on tenaciously really doesn't make really good sense, all right? Just many times we do it because we don't realize that we might desire it, but we don't need it. And ladies and gentlemen, you've got to be willing to risk. If you're not willing to risk, you can't grow in life. Life has no power when you're not willing to risk. Somebody wrote this and it was given to me. It said, to laugh is to risk appearing the fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out for another is to risk involvement. To expose feelings is to risk exposing your true self. To place your ideas, your dreams before a crowd is to risk their loss. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To live is to risk dying. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure. But risk must be taken, because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, is nothing. They may avoid suffering and sorrow, but they cannot learn, feel, change, grow, love, and live. Chained by their certitudes, they are a slave. They have forfeited their freedom. Only a person who risks is free. Next thing is face the truth about life and deal with it. A lot of people, when someone in their life that they love very much dies, they allow it to take such a toll on them. They make themselves miserable, and they literally will themselves to die early because they feel without this person they have nothing to look forward to. And no, life has other opportunities, other relationships, other experiences for us. And the people that we love really want us to go on. Other thing is, things are going to happen to you. Here, in order to have a fulfilling life, knowing that things are going to happen, expect the unexpected. Whatever happens to you, use everything for your upliftment, learning, and growth. Everything that happens, use it for your upliftment, learning, and growth. In the midst of it, ask, what can I learn from this? What can I get from this? How did I end up here? What's the blessing in this for me? Ask yourself that, whatever it is, and don't let it go until you get your blessing out of it, because there's a blessing there. There's a lesson there. There's something for you in everything that happens to you for you to learn from that experience. Look at it, examine it, analyze it, dissect it, take it apart until it reveals itself to you. And then get what you need from that and move on. The next thing is, live each day with integrity. Don't try and get over in life. Don't try and cheat. See, a lot of people like to try and cheat. I was with a friend of mine, and we went into a service station to get some gas. They gave me back too much change. I discovered it down the road, and I was turning around going back. I said, "You're a fool. Hey, man, what when they don't give people enough change? You think they flag the people down?" I said, "I'm not responsible for them. I'm responsible for me." I went back and I told the guy, "Excuse me, sir, you gave me a $20 bill too much." I gave it to the guy just took it and walked away, didn't say thank you. The guy in the car laughed and said, "I told you, you fool! I'd have kept that." I said, "I'm not responsible for his attitude. I don't care." Knowing that he would not say thank you, I would still give it back to him. Because my image of myself says, hey, you don't take something that doesn't belong to you. That's the way my mother raised me. Don't try and cheat. Say, well, this little bit won't count. Everything counts. I like what Whitaker said, what you think about is none of my spiritual business. So when you're keeping integrity with yourself, that's going to bring you under a lot of pressure. See, most people stop short of their dreams and park and get off the highway of life because of the rejections of life. You will always be rejected. It's no big deal. Jack Canfield said rejection is a myth. It's not like when somebody says no and then they slap you.
Get more done and sell more stuff with a smart marketing platform.
just, to me, know your vitamins. Get excited about the no. Why? Because every time someone says no, that brings you another step to a yes. You're getting closer. Trust me, you will win if you don't quit. You will win if you don't quit. Even a broke clock is right twice a day. The other thing is, as you look at yourself and look at your goals and look at your dreams, assess yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What do you bring to the table? When I looked at becoming a motivational speaker, I looked at all the speakers and I noticed that they were pretty much scripted. So I said, what is it that can make me stand out? I don't have any college education. I don't have any credentials. I never worked for a major corporation. What is it I can do to offset my weaknesses? And then somebody said, well, Les, and this is very important. Mr. Washington, Mr. Brown, yes, sir. What do you want to do with your life? I want to become successful. Good. He said, you must be willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. That's why you said you have something special. See, very few people go to seminars and workshops. They'll go to a concert, but showing up to get something that can expand their minds and help them to begin to see their lives differently, to give them a larger vision of themselves, they'll be too busy. Or they say, well, how much does it cost? Well, information costs, but it pays for itself.
Wow, thank you for the gift. Thank you. That was very nice.
Yeah, see, it's possible you can live your dream. It's necessary that you have the mindset that I'm going to do this. But you've got to take ownership. You've got to decide, hey, I'm going to do this. You've got to take responsibility for your life. George Bernard Shaw said the people that make it in this life, they look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. You've got to decide, it's me. You've got to say, and say this with conviction, I expect to win. See, if you know what your life work is, I encourage you to start working on it. If you can't do it all at one time, do just a little bit of it. And if you don't know what it is that you showed up to do, if you don't know why you're here, I encourage you to find out what your purpose is here. What is the meaning of your life? What will be different? Have you ever asked yourself that question? I've done that. I remember coming from a friend of mine's funeral and I was reflecting on how much time I had left. And I went for a walk in a park thinking about this guy whose life was so promising. And I mean, he wasn't an old guy. He was quite young, in fact. And I thought about all of the things that he said he was going to do, and he never got a chance to do those things. And I started thinking about my own life and how much time I had left to do the things that I would like to do. And at that time, I wasn't sure what my life purpose was, what my life's work was. I wasn't sure about it at that time, and I thought about it quite a lot. I had some idea, but I wasn't convinced, and I don't think I felt worthy. I didn't believe that it could be me to do this kind of work that I'm doing right now. And I say to you that if you begin to take a conscious effort to find out what it is that you're supposed to do, I say that it can literally save your life. See, when you're going someplace and you already know how much you're going to make, you already know how far you can go, you're in a dead-end position. It erodes your self-esteem. It lowers your sense of yourself. It creates an inner turmoil. It creates an emptiness in you. So I say that your life is worth finding what it is that you're supposed to do. And I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying find it and do just a little bit of it. When I wanted to become involved in speaking, I started just learning quotes, listening to other people's tapes, going to seminars, going to workshops, asking other people to help me. Just start working at it just a little bit, but do find out what your work is and hold on to it and don't let your dream go. Don't let it go. Unless you've made some major mistakes in life, you haven't started living yet. So a lot of people, if you've never made any major blunders, made some major mistakes, lost some serious money, taken some serious risks, you haven't started living yet. You don't call that living. Not rocking the boat, going through life quietly, tiptoeing safely to an early grave. No, 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 no. You got to take some chances. You want to bring some adventure to your life. See, a lot of people, because they don't want to make any mistakes, it takes us to the next level. A lot of people don't want to fail. Fear of failure, fear of success, and guess what else? Fear of the unknown. See, at some point in time, all of us have seen our destiny. I was 6 years old, a man by the name of Reverend Ed Graham, Mount Zion Baptist Church in Miami. I was 6 years old right before Christmas. My mother was ill. We had no food in the house. And this tall, strapping man around 6'1" came to the door with a food basket in his hand. And he says, "Hello, is this the Brown family?" My mother said, "Yes. I understand that you have 2 sons and a daughter, and that you have no food." "Yes, I'm from Mount Zion Baptist Church, and around Christmas time we pass out food baskets to needy families. Take the basket in behalf of the church and have a nice Christmas." And when he walked out, I said, "Oh boy, I'd like to be like that man." And I went to his church, and I used to watch him speak, and tall and powerful and dynamic speaker, such eloquence. One of his favorite people was the poet Kipling, who wrote, "If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and believing it on you." All of us have seen our destiny at some point in time, and we decided not to listen. We decided to ignore it, to no, that's not for me. Life came in and slapped us side the head, and we stopped dreaming anymore. Digger Thomas said, "The impulse to dream has been slowly beaten out of me through the experience of life." And that's what causes many of us to give up on our volcano. The experiences and the challenges, the defeats, the disappointments, and the failures of life. And we decide to prematurely throw in the towel on ourselves, or to sell out on our true potential, sell out on living our dreams, feeling that we're not good enough, not wanting to make any mistakes, particularly if you're raised with a great deal of criticism. So you've got to be willing to prepare yourself and do the best you can. Take your best shot and let the chips fall where they may. And so as you begin to look at people become afraid of success because they feel they're not good enough, they can't handle it, the responsibility is too big. I've been there. And when you feel that way, you begin to unconsciously work against yourself to make sure that you don't get it. You begin to sabotage your own potential in a variety of ways, through procrastinating, through not taking care of business, not giving reports on time, not spending your time wisely, squandering your time looking at a lot of idle television, or spend all your time lamenting and complaining about how bad things are, using your energy negatively rather than positively, complaining rather than producing. That's what we do when we're afraid of really making it. And when you're afraid of the unknown, when you're afraid to take that leap, when you're afraid to venture out there, that's a real challenge. I'm reminded about a little boy. 2 little guys were out playing on some ice that was supposed to have been solid. And one of the little boys stepped on a thin area of the ice and fell in a hole. And as he began to start thrashing in the water, he began to move with the undercurrent to other areas of the ice, and his friend was there trying to help him, beating, hitting the ice, trying to save his friend. And he panicked, and he looked just a short distance away, and there was a tree, and he went and he ripped a branch off, and he came back trying to get his buddy out, and he just took the best he could and started scraping around the ice to make a circle. And when he did, he started beating on it and beating on it, and there, all of a sudden, the ice began to crumble, and he was able to pull his friend out to safety. When the paramedics finally got there, they saw what had happened, how thick the ice was. He saved the little boy's life, but what baffled him, they looked at the branch, and they looked at this little scrawny guy and said, "How did he do this? It's impossible." They just went beating around the ice to see how thick it was, hearing the thumping sound. Said, "How did he do that?" I mean, it was a miracle that he was able to just take that branch and go around, make a circle, and beat the ice and pull him through. It's just too small. It's just impossible. And an old man standing around, hearing the conversation, stepped forward and said, "I can tell you how he did it. He didn't have anybody here to tell him he couldn't do it." See, sometimes life will happen to you, like this little boy, and you won't have time to say no. You won't have time to think that you can't do it. The only time you will have is to act, to take the leap of faith and believe that everything is going to be all right. Take that leap of faith, trust yourself, and know within yourself that everything's going to be all right. But aren't there some guarantees you can give us, Les? Yes. What is that? You're going to die. In case you didn't understand that, you can't get out of life alive. So I'm saying to you, you got 6 months to live. Live your life now. Live your dreams now. Start acting like this is your last day on the planet. See, if we decide That we don't need a pronouncement from some physician to say we have 6 months to a year to live in order to really begin to appreciate the beauty of life, in order to really to make some hard decisions in life. See, we have the power in our hands. Like those little boys, we have that kind of power, that kind of genius, that kind of fortune, that kind of wealth, that kind of happiness, that kind of sense of fulfillment in our hands. We have that. We have that. It's in our hands. It's on us. And nobody...
Our Florida provides assistance with unpaid rent and utility bills. A federally funded program, Our Florida has helped over 30,000 Florida households. Need help with your rent and utilities? Visit ourflorida.com and sign up today.
Nobody can make that decision for us. We can give it away. We can give it to the company store for $400 or $500 a week. Or we can exchange it for how people think about us, how they feel about us, and go through life and resign ourselves to be miserable as we go to our graves, looking good for everybody else, except to ourselves. Or we can decide, hey, wait, this is the only life that I have. And that is my volcano. And I'm going to take the leap of faith. I'm going to jump in it. And I'm going to handle it because I know the universe will never give me anything I don't have the capacity to handle. See, I say to you that you've got the power within you to handle any kind of volcano in your life, regardless of how it shows up, regardless of any kind of challenge that you might have in your life. I say to you, you've got that in you right now. Where will it come from? Don't worry. If you trust yourself, it will come to you at the right time in which you need it. See, most people are not accumulating wealth. Most people are living in poverty. Most people are living far below their potential. Not because they don't have the capacity, not because they have not been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth, but most people are living like they're living because of the fact that they don't believe they can have any more than what they now have. In the book called Miseducation of the Negro, Dr. Carter G. Woodson said, if you can determine what a man shall think, you never have to concern yourself with what he will do. If you can make a man feel inferior, you never have to compel him to seek an inferior status, for he will seek it himself. And if you can make a man feel justly an outcast, you never have to order him to go to the back door. He'll go without being told. And if there's no door, his very nature will demand one. That's why Scripture reminds us, be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So every day you have to sell yourself and get out of your mind those old thoughts, that old belief system. Every day you got to sell yourself on that it's possible. But you got to put a new mind in you. You got to get out of your mind. You got to begin to restructure your thinking. Every day you got to begin to recondition your mind. See, let me share something with you. The easiest thing I've ever done was to earn $1 million. The most difficult thing I've ever done was to believe it could happen to me. That was the most difficult part, to believe that given my circumstances, if my birth parents came down this aisle right now, I would not know either one if my daddy came up here or my mother came up here. Given the fact that I was born in an abandoned building on a floor, being labeled educable, mentally retarded. I remember going to see the late Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, the author of the book, The Power of Positive Thinking. And I used to look at him up on stage and I said, I could do that. I would love to talk to people. I love to talk to people. And I said, I could do that. But then when I started going back to my car, my mental conditioning activated itself. And it said, Les Brown, you can't do that. You don't have a college education. Les Brown, you can't do that. You don't have the training. You've never worked for a major corporation. You can't do that. What makes you think you can earn $5, $10, $15, $20,000 in an hour? You don't earn that now working for 2 or 3 months. What makes you think that you can speak for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, General Electric? These are clients I have now. You've never even worked for them. How many of you ever thought about something you wanted to do and you talk yourself out of it? Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. That inner conversation is what's going to haunt you. After staying here and saying, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. After saying that again and again, we are more than conquerors. That inner conversation will cause you, when you leave here, to go back leading a life of mediocrity. leading a life of unproductivity, leading a life of poverty. So I'm going to share with you how to break out of that. Whatever it is that you want to do, ladies and gentlemen, here's something that's very key for you. There must be on your part a willingness to do what is required, a willingness. If there are 75 things to do to achieve your goal, if there's one thing on that list of 75 that you're not willing to do, I guarantee you that's the first thing that will come up for you and will kick your butt. See, I always wanted to be a speaker and a trainer. I wanted to make an indelible impact in the training industry, but I didn't want to be a businessman. I'm a first-generation entrepreneur in my family. Because I was told I was dumb and stupid most of my life, I unconsciously developed a tremendous phobia about paper. If you say, let's write me a speech, I automatically become nervous. I can't write you a speech, but I can give you a speech. But I can't write you one. I can't tell you the principles of speaking and what it takes, but I can demonstrate it for you. I can show you how to speak, but I can't give you a written explanation for it. I'm not smart like my sister who graduated from the University of Miami. But I have people on my staff with her education that work for me. But I can't write stuff that they write because that's not my area of strength. But so I had a fear.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to my morning yoga, my morning stretch and breathe. I've been doing this since September 29th of this year, and I've been doing it every day at 8 a.m. So if you're interested in this, come back tomorrow. I'm going to make another event where we do it again at 8 a.m. every day. So Mondays I do plant giveaways, so if you haven't been a part of my plant giveaway, you should definitely join. I'm Megan of Megan's Plant Boutique, and I do this as a practice of self-discipline every morning. I've been disciplined enough to come here every day and do yoga every day, so I'm pretty thrilled about that because I've been sticking with it. Some of those poses take the wind out of me. So if you haven't noticed, I have been getting more flexible. I've been getting more balanced. This yoga has definitely done some positive benefits for me. So I hope that all of you who are watching are getting something positive out of this as well. I've been playing YouTube motivational channels lately. Today we were listening to Les Brown, and the YouTube channel is called Let's Become Successful. So if you all want to finish that Les Brown speech, feel free. I will play the second half of it tomorrow. I'm going to upload this to YouTube after I download my live, and then I upload it to YouTube. Yesterday, for whatever reason, TikTok wouldn't let me download my live. I don't know what happened, but it didn't go on to YouTube. But today, it will. TikTok willing, right? So today's speech was about... It says, listen to this every morning for the next 30 days. I feel like I've heard a lot of what's going on in this speech just because I've been listening to a lot of the speeches before. But, you know, really, it's really good reinforcement to hear it again and again. And basically he's saying, you know, nobody's going to take you to the top but you. And you've got to overcome your own fears, and you've got to be a part of life. You can't be afraid to participate in life. If you are... afraid to love, you're afraid to be loved. And if you don't give, you won't get. Nature hates a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. And whenever you create a vacuum, something has to fill that space. So if, you know, you give love, you get love. If you give that thing you want the most, like you do a plant giveaway every Monday, well, you're probably going to get a bunch of plants in return because nature hates a vacuum. So whatever you do, just, you know, don't give up and don't be afraid to go tackle those challenges. Les Brown said that he had a hard time, like a paralyzing fear of writing, like speech writing. He's a great speaker and a great speech giver, but he said it just killed him when he had to come to, you know, writing a speech. He said his sister was really good at writing speeches, and, you know, they went to, you know, Miami, the college, and he felt like he didn't have that skill because early on he was diagnosed as, you know, something was wrong with him. And, you know, he said somebody told him he couldn't, and he believed it. And that's the biggest deal. If someone tells, don't let anybody put a finger in your face and tell you you're nobody. You know, that's what he's saying. Don't let anybody put a finger in your face and tell you you're less than. He had a little story where there were two boys playing on some thick ice, and one of them fell through the ice somehow and was going under the current, under the ice. So he was getting taken away. And the other little boy, you know, fearing for his friend's life, you know, he found a stick and he started beating on the ice as hard as he could, and he cracked the ice and saved his friend. But the stick was very small and the ice was very thick. So when the paramedics arrived, they were all shocked to see how this little boy had saved his friend with such a tiny little tool. And a pastor was there, and he says, "Oh, I know how he did it. He did it because nobody was there. Nobody was there to tell him he could not do it." So that's what this speech was about. If no one's there telling you you can't do it, and even that voice within you says, "We can do this," then you can probably do more than you could ever imagine. And that's what this speech was about. He said, making $1 million was not hard. He said, thinking I could make $1 million and that could happen to me personally, that was the hard part. So believing in things that, you know, you want is the hardest part. So hopefully everybody here is taking these messages and applying them to their life. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate the roses. So hopefully you all are applying these. Thank you, Chad Ryan. I appreciate the roses again. 6 of them again. Thank you. Gosh, all these gifts. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. Look at all those gifts. I like ice cream and presents. Thank you. Oh, we got a mic too. Look at that. Mic check 1, 2. Thank you, Chad Ryan. You were very, very supportive today. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody who follows, who watches, who likes, who, you know, comes back every morning to watch me do this. It keeps me going. I'm definitely somebody who likes a little bit of positive reinforcement, and seeing all of you here definitely keeps me coming back. So whatever it is that motivates you, go find that thing. You know, maybe you like to, you know, have a friend do something with you. Well, do that thing with your friend, you know, like whatever it is that encourages you to go on through your day and to, you know, keep trying and get over your fears and, you know, just keep going on to be a better you tomorrow. That's wonderful to have somebody there with you, whatever it is it takes. Chad Ryan, you're blowing me up with these gifts. Thank you so much. Is that sliced bread? I haven't seen the sliced bread one before. Cloud bread. Thank you. So if you all haven't met me before, thank you again, Chad. You are so lighting me up with those gifts. Yes, always come back to Megan, and so will we. Thank you so much. You know, I haven't been, Ramirez, thank you for that heart planet. That's so cool. I haven't been following the comments so much. Of course, I'm a big fan of your lives. Thank you so much. Have a good day, Megan. Happy to see you. Thank you so much, Math SNG, for coming again. Ramirez, thank you. Megan, post this part of this live. This was so powerful. Okay, I'm gonna post that part. Look at all these gifts. Thank you so much. Wow. Yeah, so I do upload. I didn't know you upload your live to YouTube. Yes, so I try to upload them every time I go live. I upload them to YouTube just so that in case somebody missed the message or wanted to catch the message or just couldn't come at 8 a.m., they can come and still work on themselves and follow my journey as well if they want. Love your outfit, Megan. Thank you so much. Nice seeing you this morning. How are you today? My day is always wonderful, and I'll tell you why. I wake up on the right side of the bed every day, and the way I do it is by telling myself that today's going to be a great day. I'm going to squeeze every bit of joy and excitement out of this day because it's mine to have, and I'm going to go find something exciting to do, and I'm going to do something new that I've never done before, and I'm excited to go at it. And that's how I wake up in the mornings, and that's what you should be telling yourself, because all it is coding your brain to do the best for you. So if you tell your brain, I'm waking up in the best mood, well, you're going to wake up and have the best day. If you take your day and you wake up and you say, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, I'm so groggy, you know, then you're gonna have a rough day. That's just how it is. You know, you are the boss of you. Her Etsy shop is really good, y'all. Thank you, Fernando. You're famous, Nando. I just wanted to say you're absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much. I appreciate kind, respectful compliments. Oh yeah, you don't talk during these. Well, I love your outfits. Yeah, I don't talk when I'm in my live because I can't see the screen. I'm so far back there and the lights are so bright. Like, I use lights like this. So, I mean, you just saw me practically black out the screen. So that's what I see when I'm doing my yoga, and that's not my only light here. I have a couple more that I put in here, so I really can't see the screen when you all are commenting. Ah, y'all are funny. Okay, so this is a cool addition. Thank you, Miss the Plants. Yes. Oh, you all are so wonderful. Somebody said you need help. I do need help. I'm not a yogi, but we all need a little help, right? Hey girl, thank you for joining. You all are wonderful. Thank you so much for staying here during the live. I'm just scrolling through. That's why my camera's shaking. Let's see. Okay. Ramirez, thank you for sending all those hearts. Chad, thank you for sending all those gifts. You're really flexible. Flexibility fascinates me. Are you able to do the middle splits? Honestly, I'm not able to do the middle splits yet. I can do side splits pretty close on both sides. I just did the splits prep stretches. I've been doing those for almost a month now, but the side split, I need to figure out how to do that stretch better because I don't think I'm appropriately stretching for the middle split, but I'm working on it. I'm going to be really excited when I can reach that day. Let's see. How are your in-laws? My in-laws are wonderful. Let me see if one of them is out here fishing. I don't think he's here yet. Let me see. No, he hasn't come over yet. But we're gonna go pick up Papa D and Mama Maria, and Papa D's probably gonna come fishing in the backyard. I'm gonna see if I can get him to do some TikTok videos with me. I have a dance, one of those viral dances that I think I might be able to get him to participate in. We'll see. He's 82, and our Mama Maria is 82, and Papa D is 84. So let's see what we can do with our TikTok dances. You know that one? Come Flores. Da, 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 da. I want to try that one. I'm excited. I love your positivity and how you see things. Oh, thank you. You know, Mathis and G, keep listening to these speeches because that's where I got it from. I didn't just, magically come up with all of this, all by myself. So I listen to things and I try to apply them to my life. So if you listen to them too, hopefully you can apply them to your life and get just as much benefit as I have from these. Okay, have a great day. It was 29 this morning and the greenhouse heater was off. Oh, I hope your plants are okay. 29 degrees is hard for plants, really hard. So good luck. Good luck, Nando. The Hamilton's 205, fit check. You probably already swiped in and swiped out. You can come back at 8 if you want to see my fit, because I do yoga every day at 8 a.m. I make an event to go live every day at 8 a.m. So if you all are interested in it, please go and register after I make it. I'll do it shortly after I finish this live. Let's see. Are you married? Yes, I am married. I've been married for a few years now. I've been with my husband for several years. Sadly, looking forward to them bouncing back. Oh yeah, there's nothing like, when you revive a plant, like you have a little accident, you have the cold spell, a frost or something, and then you save them and bring them back to life. That's the stuff. The sun goes down one is fun and easy. Yes, I don't know if that's what it's saying. It's like, I don't know if it's saying something about flowers and something about rain or something about sad. I don't know. It's something in Spanish. It's a Spanish song. And there's this lady, she's really good at it, and she has the umbrella that she did recently. Are you going to do yoga? So I just finished yoga about less than 15 minutes ago. I have to go, by the way. You look beautiful. Have a great day. Thanks for joining, Mathis and G. Thank you for coming so often. I really appreciate your presence here. That's really nice of you to keep coming and being consistent too. Jimmy C 1515, come back tomorrow at 8 a.m. I do yoga every day at 8 a.m. from 8 to 8:30. And then I talk about, what we did in the yoga, and not really what we did in the yoga, but the speech that we listened to during yoga. It's kind of funny. I do this, I listen to this speech and I'm trying to, one, stretch and reach the appropriate amount of stretch that doesn't hurt me. Two, breathe through the stretch and breathe in the proper time counting. Like one, you count, you breathe in 4, then you count backwards and you breathe out 4. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to do. So when I'm trying to reach that point of the stretch that is just enough, and then breathe the appropriate amount of time and in the appropriate way, I sometimes forget I'm listening to a message at all because it's just, I'm so focused. Okay. I'll keep coming. Your positivity makes my day. Thank you so much. That's really sweet. Have a great day, Megan. Thank you, Romaris. You have a great day too. I'm potting up the satin you gave me. Nando, wonderful. The note is really small and the water prop isn't working. What do you mean? You know, I will tell you that the satins are very slow growers. The syndapsis, those leaves are just a little bit thicker, so they take a little bit longer. I'm looking over here because I keep looking at my prop station because I check the roots on them religiously as well. I need to do a prop station update. My hydro station is like rooting, like for real rooting. Like I pulled out I have a philodendron micans video prepped that I'm going to show you all. Your husband is a lucky man, beautiful wife, beautiful attitude, you're lovely. Thank you so much. I appreciate respectful compliments like that. Let's see. Can you send me flowers year-round? Can you send me year-round flowers? I can. Have a great day. Thank you, Nando. I need year-round flowers. Okay, so I think you're trying to say annual versus perennials. So annuals you have to plant annually, and perennials you plant one time and then they're there forever. But I will tell you that annuals usually reseed themselves. So if they have flowers and they drop their seed, they'll reseed themselves so that they continue to grow next year. It's just a new plant. It's a baby plant, you know? So that's one way. But yeah, I do houseplants. So some of the plants that I have that flower, begonias flower. I actually have a begonia back here, right here, flowering, and it's really beautiful. It's a Don Miller, aka Frosty. I can't wait to bust that one out for our winter season, for our Christmas season. Yeah, the leaf is in water and I'm too scared to rot it. Okay, so if the leaf is in the water, that's a problem. So the hard part about syndapsis is they have such a short little node. Like here's the leaf, you know, here's the leaf, and then they have that tiny, tiny, tiny stem, and then the root. And it is tough to get them just wet on the root. So I actually recommend maybe moss. So if you switch over to sphagnum moss and keep it damp, that sphagnum moss, you lay your syndapsis right on top of it, put that node right under a little bit of sphagy, then I bet you'll have really good luck rooting that. Just keep it moist, don't let it dry out. That way your leaf doesn't rot and you don't have to, you know, risk it in water. Hey, Emmanuel, Abercrombie 3, thank you so much. My link is in my bio to my Etsy shop. I have a 20% off sale still going on. It has been working wonders, so I just kept it going. You guys seem to be very responsive to my 20% off, and I'm just like having to order all kinds of new boxes and shipments for my shipments. You all are really wonderful here. Ooh, micans, I know, I'm really excited. I have a video about the micans prepped, so I will show that to you all here shortly. I've got a lot to do today, so I've got to post that micans video. I want to do that TikTok dance with my Mama D and Papa D, and probably going to end up doing some pest control and some fertilizing outside. I haven't done that for a while because it's been rainy and I didn't want all of it just to get washed away. So we've been having a little bit of rain in South Florida. Your eyes are so nice. Thank you so much. I try to, you know, blink a few times a day to make sure they stay properly hydrated. Just kidding. Let's see. For those of you who are just joining, I'm Megan of Megan's Plant Boutique. I do this every day at 8 a.m. So you're welcome to come back and watch me actually do yoga rather than chit chat. But I do appreciate all of you all's attention here. Megan, yeah, that's me. I'm wild, ain't I? So thank you all for being here. I've got to figure out what we're all doing today. My in-laws are here and it's looking like a beautiful sunny day. I was at the post office yesterday talking to Terry, and Terry was like, oh, I'm gonna have a day off and it's supposed to rain, so I hope she's out there having a wonderful day on her kayak. Also, if it's such a wonderful day, we might be able to go fishing on the beach, look for some driftwood, and get some more of those driftwood planters out there. All of my driftwood planters are almost sold out. I only have one left. I only have one driftwood planter left right now. I have a couple pieces of driftwood that I have not cut yet. They're almost done drying. That's always a hard part, drying out your wood to make sure it's not gonna like warp or do something weird. Okay, hi baby. Did you see the cat? Come here, baby. Hi, honey. Oh wow, so stunningly beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. Too nice. Well, Florida is bipolar and so is CT. You know that weather's always bipolar. You know how it is. No one can really predict the weather. That's why they say that, right? It's an old adage. Okay, so I've been here for about an hour and I have got to go do some stuff. So I appreciate you all being here. You all were super supportive today. Thank you all for all of that. Like seriously, I don't know if you all know how much that means to me to have people who like to come here, and you all are consistent too. Like some of you show up every time and I really love that. Like thanks for being here, Nando. I appreciate your attention all the time. I've got to go though, so thank you so much for being here, and I will check you tomorrow.